1045 The Team, Levack Goz here with you, and joining us on the phone lines, he writes for Ring Magazine. Mike Coppinger joins us. And Mike, tomorrow it's Manny Pacquiao versus Horn on ESPN. What can sports fans expect from the fight this weekend?
You know, I don't really expect a very competitive fight. Manny Pacquiao, after all, is an all-time great, even at 38 years old, and he's fighting a guy who's dropped in 2 of his last 3 fights against a guy that was 38 years old and 41. So, you know, Jeff Horn can talk all he wants about being the underdog and shocking Pacquiao, but I don't think it's going to be very competitive.
If it's not going to be competitive, why did ESPN want this fight in prime time? Is it because Showtime and HBO didn't want it?
No, HBO actually put in a nice 7-figure offer for it, but this is the first fight in a new series that Top Rank is doing on ESPN, which I reported about on ringtv.com, basically where there's going to be, you know, I think it's 7 or 8 shows this year, 18 more next year. This is big for boxing. I mean, Pacquiao Horn's the first fight. The second fight is going to be Lomachenko-Mariaga on August 5th. Then ESPN's coming back 2 weeks later with Crawford and Dongo. So, and you know, if you're ESPN and you can get a big name like Pacquiao, why not, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You get Manny Pacquiao in prime time, and I'm interested to see how the ratings turn out for this. And Mike Coppinger from Ring Magazine joining us here on the phone lines on 1045 The Team. We've seen NBC put fights in prime time, CBS put fights in prime time. If the ratings are really good this weekend, are we going to see other networks follow suit and try to get in on the boxing game?
You know, I think that could happen, but at this point, it's great enough that ESPN's going all in with boxing. You know, they did a special first take this morning dedicated to boxing. They're just televising the weigh-in live on ESPN. You know, shoulder programming is coming on board for, you know, all the top-ranked fights on ESPN. So this is a big deal.
Mike Coppinger from Ring Magazine joining us here, breaking down Mayweather-McGregor next here with us. And Mayweather-McGregor, the fight goes down. Let's go back to December. Did you ever think that this fight would ever happen between Floyd and Conor?
I mean, if we go back to like last summer, no, I didn't. But once it got to like November, December, and they kept talking about it, I thought, yeah, there's too much money to be made. I actually did think it was going to happen.
So with
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, I did a Yahoo Sports podcast with Chris Mannix, and actually in January, and he posed that same question to me, and I said it was going to happen, and everyone laughed at me. But you know, I always follow the money with Mayweather, and you know, for Conor McGregor, it's a no-brainer too. Even if he's going to catch a beating, you know, he's going to make life-altering money. Frankly, UFC fighters aren't paid that well.
If he's going to catch the beating, as he hinted at there a bit, you don't think this is even going to be close? McGregor stands no chance in this ring against Floyd?
Absolutely zero chance. I think it would be the single greatest upset in sports history if McGregor beat him. I mean, I would be surprised if McGregor even won a round. I think it's gonna go maybe 5 or 6 rounds, and Mayweather's gonna, you know, knock him out or stop him.
So if you believe it's going to be one of the greatest upsets in sports history, and Mike Coppinger from Ring Magazine joining us here on 1045 The Team, what are the positives for Floyd Mayweather to take this fight besides $100 million? Or is that enough? You get paid $100 million to fight whoever they want him to fight.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, if you're Mayweather, why wouldn't you get paid, you know, maybe $150, $200, $250 million for an easy fight? You know?
Right.
I mean, it seems like a no-brainer to me.
Yeah, if he's getting paid that much money, you're going to go ahead and take the fight, no doubt. Triple G Alvarez later on in the fall's coming up. Has this Mayweather-McGregor fight almost basically undercut that bout for September?
You know, it's hard to say. I mean, it certainly hasn't helped at this point. But it really depends on how many weeks you think you need to promote a fight. I mean, it's too bad because Canelo Golovkin is a true super fight. I mean, you're talking about the 2 best middleweights in the world, 2 of the best fighters in the sport, pound for pound. And it should be a terrific action fight, too, given they both, you know, have pressure styles. So it's too bad we're talking about Mayweather and McGregor instead of Canelo Golovkin.
Right, and that's the thing almost with Floyd Mayweather is that he's almost been always the headline, the national headline. What's he going to do next? What's he going to do next? It feels like it's taken away from some attention like that, and maybe one of the reasons why is maybe boxing needs an up-and-coming superstar. Triple G Alvarez, maybe they could be the guys. If it's not Triple G Alvarez, who could sports fans see as the next big name in boxing to follow?
Well, I think it is Canelo Alvarez already. If you look at his pay-per-view buys from the Chavez fight, which was $1 million plus, and he is 26. You know, he is learning English. English is getting better to the point where he doesn't need a translator for the answers. For the questions, only for the answers. But Golovkin's 35. I don't think it's going to be him. But if not those guys, I point to Anthony Joshua, heavyweight champion from England, who's already a massive star in London, where he's from, has a deal with Under Armour, and it's just a big deal there. I think Joshua was next in line.
That Anthony Joshua fight was insane, by the way. The crowd was into it, back and forth. It felt like that night when that fight had finished up that we had seen a star in the making. But Joshua's got to fight someone in the heavyweight division. Are we going to see Tyson Fury come back? What's the future of Wilder? When are we going to see a big fight with Joshua now following that victory he just had?
Well, I mean, Klitschko has a rematch clause, and
right.
I expect him to exercise it. And I think we'll see Joshua Klitschko, too, in the fall, possibly in America this time. But I mean, outside of that, Tyson Fury is, still waiting on a hearing with the British Boxing Board of Control for a possible doping violation. He, admitted that he has a cocaine problem. He said he has to lose about 100 pounds. So I wouldn't even put him on the radar at the moment. Deontay Wilder, Joshua, is a fight that I would love to see. If Joshua could beat Klitschko again, which I think we all expect him to, maybe we see Joshua Wilder in the spring or the fall of next year in a big fight.
Hopefully you see this guy in upstate New York again soon. I met him at the Turning Stone Casino. He does some great stuff. Mike Coppinger, Ring Magazine. Mike, appreciate your time. We'll catch up again hopefully in August to preview what could be Mayweather-McGregor and what you've titled as could be the greatest upset in sports history. Appreciate your time, man.
Thanks a lot.